have me out like a light, 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 like a light.
Welcome to Casual Conversations, where the conversations are casual, but the topics are not. And we are back for Struggle Love in the Black community.
Struggling.
Yes, sir.
Struggle. Well, we left off where Clayton gave some insight saying that there is a reason why men are struggling. And one of the reasons is that they don't have as many
They don't have a lot of
programs, right?
Programs and like things to help them get ahead. That's just my opinion. They don't have it. You know, I don't see it. I haven't seen it. When I did see it, when I just seen it the other day, and all the women went crazy. Like, well, what about us? And it was just kind of like, well, don't you want the men to get it together so you can not have struggle love? But they were pissed about the men having a special program just for men. So.
Right. And then you were saying like, well, like women have our favorite when it comes to different like benefits and programs. And
you guys get more. I think that they lean more to help you guys.
Got you.
Just from being women.
Right.
That's just what I've experienced. That's what I've seen. It's just been very difficult for men to get ahead, like as far as getting help. Like,
got you.
We're just expected, like you guys said, we're builders, so we should just.
And I was like, build something.
And we need to go to school, and we need to get contractors licensed. All the black men out in LA, if you want somewhere to live, build a building, okay?
But
that's
also,
what the women feel.
It's not just the men. I was saying that I've never qualified for any program of assistance at all, ever.
Neither.
Okay, right. Well, you're saying also for men, but for women, certain women as well. I know for sure they're like,
it's probably your tax bracket or something.
It's not my tax bracket because when I was in school and I had no money, I wasn't doing nothing. I have no money. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to get out of my parents' house and I need somewhere to stay. And they were like, do you have a child? And I'm like, no. And they're like, well then.
Yeah,
almost like, a child equals hardship. Like you can't just be having hardships on your own by yourself.
You didn't have to have kids. You would have to. A lot of women were not willing, if they didn't have children, to go into a shelter. They would create something for you to do. You would go into this program for 30 to 60 days, and in that process, you would get a place. But that was offered to women. It was not offered to me. And I remember my friends being homeless, and we asking them, could they get like vouchers or could they go to a shelter? Okay. And they were not accepting boys. They were only accepting women.
Got you. Okay. Got you. I understand that. I do agree. There are not as many programs of assistance.
And I just couldn't believe it. It was like the comments went crazy. The ladies was like, what about the women? It was like, how dare you?
Yeah, that's just that's just specific to whoever those women were. But to what I was gonna say about the programs, like first of all, it's good to have the help. We all need it. But let's keep it real. Those programs are for when you are literally under the poverty line. You're poor AF. So it's not something to be like, oh, I want to be on here. And
it's a stepping stone.
But there are stepping stones for me.
You poor AF.
Yes.
I'm going to go back to, well, I'm saying based on society.
You
like
going to go back to what? Where you going to go back to what?
I'm going to go back, though, to men still getting assistance and it still being struggle love. Because back in the day,
there we go.
Dudes was on GR like a mofo.
Like it was going out of style.
Because, so let's not sit up here and act like dudes ain't been reaping the benefits, getting that little $213 or however much it was, and then not reporting, giving them money for their Black and Miles, their cigarettes, their weed, they whatever it was that they needed.
With no home.
They don't care about that. That's what I'm saying. In struggle love, typically, and most men who would deal with that type of situation and go get those programs, they're not a man who's trying to raise a family or he probably got kids or baby mamas or whatever, and he just never got himself together because he was young and was taught to get as many women as he could get versus focus and get an education and have a career, figure something out for yourself. It was just, oh, go out here and have sex. Well, with that sex, you're going to have these kids that your ignorant ass can't take care of because you didn't finish school or you don't have no drive or you don't have any skills.
But what about the
So,
men that just need it for a stepping stone?
That's fine. Use it as your stepping stone. I'm not opposed
They're
to
not.
that.
They're not supplying it though. They're not giving it.
And
It's
same
not
thing
happening
with us. Like I said, it goes for us too. I've been on both sides where I was able to
No,
qualify and where I wasn't able
it's
to
not the
qualify.
same.
It is.
It's definitely the same.
It is the same.
To me, it is,
If you
for
don't
sure.
meet those requirements, they're
I never
not
met
going
them.
to give you anything.
Never. I never met them.
They're not going to give you anything. And it even this is off subject, but even with financial aid, my parents, we were middle class. We didn't qualify for nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
you're right.
But it was like, well,
Never.
we can't afford this though. But because we make this, it's like, so that's why I'm saying with society, their numbers don't life, like you said, life be life.
Life be life.
And I'm telling you that I can't afford this, but
Yeah.
you're telling me because this is what I make, this help is not for you. That's why I said poor AF, because the
Yeah.
numbers that they expect, like a family of 4, like your income is like 20,000-30,000. It's like you expect.
How do you- yeah.
So that's
4
what I'm
people?
saying. It's like that's not something to be like, oh, I want this, or to have a goal to be like, oh, we need these programs. We do need them for everybody. We all need stepping stones. Life is hard, especially right now, but
We in a recession.
ultimately, men have
headed
been
to a
struggling. Pulling that struggle love mess from the beginning of time.
Yes,
'Cause
period.
I know I was a little girl, and my family had friends where that was the situation. The man was on GR. His woman, she was on the county too, but she ended up getting a job.
I know women that's still
He's-
on the county right now that's been on the county since we was young, and they live off
for
of
20,
it.
30
And they
years.
Oh, yeah,
comfortable
for
with
sure.
it, and they
Yes.
don't want to get no job because they don't want their
They
Section
don't
8
want
to go
exactly. Or
up.
they don't
Yes.
want to lose their
So-
food stamps, or they don't
Everything.
want whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot, and that perpetuates it too. But it's just,
Yeah.
ugh. And oh wait, no. Go
But it doesn't like I even though these are all true, right? And times are hard and those things, but it's not an excuse for struggle love.
No.
Like we talked about letting them know and letting them go. Like if you're struggling like that, you should not be inviting someone into your toxic den of struggle
Right.
to come on and go through with it with
You
me.
have a lot of broken people too, so
That's
we
true.
can say that. But
Yeah.
a lot of us, either we sought out for help and work
Yeah.
on ourselves. Like a lot of people are not doing that, so
True.
it's like
Yeah.
True. That's
why
very
it's a lot of
true.
struggle love too. Nobody's really working on themselves. Nobody's really trying to get better and deal with their traumas from their childhood. Nobody's doing that.
And that brings to our next subtopic about the distress of indulging in a one-sided relationship, how that manifests in the mind, how that manifests in the body, how that manifests in the spirit, how that manifests for sure in that pocketbook. What does that do? Right? To that person. So like I said before, I do not have personal experience with struggle love. However, I do have family members that I know of and friends that I know of. And when I tell you, just looking at the difference in that person's appearance, I just want to bring a person that everybody should know pretty much up. It's Erica Mena. And I know that her struggle love wasn't financial, but it was about someone, her struggle love was more of the commitment and someone seeing through to the vows that they actually said, yes, I want to be with you and whatever. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying she's a perfect human being, but looking at her physical, seeing how she looked like before she got into that relationship to now, it was devastating when I saw her. I felt so bad just looking at like all this. I'm like, wow, she's obviously struggling for sure mentally, but mentally usually manifests through the physical. And I'm looking at her body, her weight, and how she looked. That was like scary. And I've seen that in my family members where I had a family member who, indulged in the struggle love with somebody and they ended up being in a very long-term relationship, and just seeing like how they looked before to how they look
now. Yeah.
Now, it was like a two totally different people. Two totally different people. Also, the mental, their attitude, their personality changed. They were hard and bitter and mean and just angry. And so I do want to talk about that.
Hope and love.
I think not only hope in love, but also allowing the situation to really hurt them. Because when we're talking about inflicting, remember what the definition said? It said something like to inflict, what was it? To inflict pain, to endure pain.
The belief that for a couple to grow, one or both people must inflict emotional, physical, and or psychological pain within the relationship.
Inflicting emotional, physical, and or psychological pain in the relationship. How does that manifest? In the body, just the physical. We're talking about people who are been in those, 10 to 15 years, right? Let's say that's the time limit. That's scientifically, that is the time limit for when it's supposed to get better. Yeah. Okay, fine, 10 to 15 years. Can you imagine all that stress, all of that devastation, all that turmoil being inflicted in your body for 10 to 15 years? Yeah. How does that look? That looks like diabetes. Cancer, that looks like cancer. That looks like stroke. Fibroids. That looks like heart disease. That looks like fibroids.
It looks like lupus. That looks like obesity.
Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started on obesity. Oh my goodness. That for sure looks like obesity. I mean, just for like the few years since 2020, 2019, like just how the different things that I've gone through and how much weight I've gained. And I'm like, wow. And this is just for a couple of years, but I'm like, if somebody's really going through it, think about like, dang, what happened? They blew up. And I'm not saying it could be from struggle up, but there are stressors. There is definitely distress in different aspects of our lives that we have to take care of ourselves, especially the mental. How does it look mentally with struggle love? Because I know you guys do have some experience. What's the mental looking like?
Same things: frustration, anger, being short, irritable, and not really understanding where it's coming from or why. Because sometimes, you're on autopilot and then you're just going and going and going. And then you have to sit back and reflect, like, why am I so angry or so stressed? Or like, why is everything bothering me so much? It definitely takes a toll. It does. And then you have the frustration with yourself because you be like, I should have listened.
Ooh.
I should have listened
accountability
to him when he said he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Because now here I am in this situation and I'm tired.
Gotcha.
Now I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to leave you, but I'm tired of the financial burden being on me, or I'm tired of going without because you don't have.
Gotcha.
Because then eventually you get to a point where you're like, because you're having to do for you and him.
Yeah.
For everything.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's the flip side. And to be fair, this is what men have to do.
Yeah.
All the time. They have to take care of themselves, their wives, their children, every single day, all day, everything you need, every expense, they're coming to you. Everything is for you. So it's flipped for us. But the difference is we're expecting that from the husband. Like, people don't really just expect men to just do that for whoever they're dating or with. That's a husband role.
Yes, it is.
But in struggle love, this is to whoever.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be in a real relationship to be going through struggle love, because your situationship is already a struggle.
Yeah.
But within that, in most of those situationships, you have that financial struggle too.
Yes.
So you're just expected as the woman to just be there, rites of passage, be the ride or die, go through everything and deal with it.
And
that shows up.
Yeah, it does.
Emasculating men.
Yes, it does.
Being
that
jaded
bitterness
towards men. Just being bitter. It's not men in general, but you chose somebody who didn't have their stuff together. He told you he needed time. He told you he wasn't ready for this. And you said, no, it's okay. I got you.
So we can be together like...
For 15 years.
Yeah, for 10, 15 years. And then you can get to that Michelle Obama and Barack status and whoever else we look up to. And, we didn't really get to touch on this too much, but just like with the indoctrination of us being young, that stuff being taught to us, like every Black couple that is goals went through hell and high water.
Yes.
Anybody who's talked about their
hell
relationship
and high water, really?
Yes.
I mean, when they talk about, if they share stories, it's not looking good.
It was great from the beginning. It was, I hated him. I hated
Michelle
her.
said she hated Obama for 10 years.
She didn't like him. She didn't like him. She didn't say she hated him, y'all. She didn't like him.
It's a strong
She said she didn't like.
I think she
and
said.
that is the definition of that is strongly dislike.
Yes.
She did not like him. She hated his ass.
Yeah, for 10 years, you're like, damn. That's
Shout out to Obama, but you had Michelle
Yes, stress.
So should someone stay for the happily ever after for the 10 to 15 years to get to that other side that they've been hoping and praying for, to finally reap the benefits and the rewards of all of their hard work and all of their distress, all of the different things, getting sick, getting fat, getting cancer, all those things that they've endured, them having kids on you, them cheating on you, them empty your bank account and you holding them down. And then you get to the 15 years.
I know somebody that got to 15 years and then got a divorce.
Okay, well, there it is.
That happens too.
So
I
no.
mean,
So your answer is no. You should not.
No, you should not.
So you shouldn't wait.
No.
Because we know it's harmful indoctrination to sit up there and do the happily ever after the 10 to 15 years. Should you wait though? Should that be the goal?
I don't know if I can give you that to struggle. I don't know if I can give you that. I'm speaking for myself. It's a lot of people out here that just wouldn't be able to do that. And they're not willing to do it.
Okay. Ciandra, knowing what you've known and what you have learned, what would you say to someone who is struggling, who's in struggle love situation, who is contemplating, you know what? Wow. Rodney is really cute. He's really nice. And then
I don't even like him because of his name.
the guys who are broke, let's keep it real. Guys who are broke have really nice personalities. They're funny. They're cool. He's really cool though. He's really nice. He's really.
They usually have amazing D's.
So what do you do?
A lot of broke ones.
What do you do? What is your advice to them?
Wait a minute, there was an air mattress, and it was like, if his room looked like this, the D's gonna be life changing. I was like, this is terrible. See, struggle love.
See, that's a whole other situation.
The room was busted.
This is why we cannot get ahead, Black women.
Right, like,
see, this is why right here.
More to life.
Right here.
That D ain't gonna pay a bill. It ain't gonna pay rent. It ain't gonna do nothing.
It's what's be holding these people there for 15 years.
No, for real, it is. It is.
So what would you do?
I would say for me, I still feel like it's situational. I feel like it's based on your own discernment of like, at what point do you feel like, okay, this struggle, because let's be real, you're going to struggle. Struggle is a part of life, whether you're in love or out of love or single with someone, whatever, like struggles are going to happen. But how long is that season of struggle? And it's hard to say, like, it's no handbook that says, oh, your struggle is 10 years or 5 years. Well, for this it is, but typically just our day-to-day struggles, you don't have a time span.
Gotcha.
So you're going to carry that into your relationship too. You're like, well, damn, how long should I wait? For me, it's just what you feel and what that person is doing or saying. Are they following through with their plans? Are they giving you a bunch of empty promises? Are they saying, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and they never do it? It never comes to fruition. If that's what your situation is, it ain't no time. There's no nothing.
That's
you
my
just
thing,
need to
too.
leave.
Like,
It's
agree,
done.
And
You just
I
need to
most
go.
definitely agree with that. Like, it's like I'm a action. Actions speak louder than words for me. So we ain't struggling that long. I'm not going to allow you to struggle that long. You're going to have to show me.
So time limit. Give a time limit. What's the time limit for struggling?
My time limit, really, I will give you close to 5 years. Close.
I was going to say 4.
5 years. Okay. What's yours?
4.
4 years. Okay. So I'm going to end it off on this. Mine would be no years. Do not struggle at all. It's important for the person to be able to take care of themselves, to invest in themselves, to go through the different things of development without anyone else helping or propelling them or propping them up. I think that there's so many wonderful things that I discovered by myself, and without a relationship and without somebody else trying to chauffeur me and cater to me and help me and take care of me while doing that. I think that with struggle love, going through the mud, because like I said, healing hurts and healing really does suck and it doesn't feel good. Go through that by yourself. Make sure somebody knows and let them go so they can grow. All right, you guys, that is it for Struggle Love. If you want to hear more about that, let us know. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and follow. Remember, keep it calm.
Keep it cute.
And as always, keep it casual.
Like a light.